Hey guys, so while I'm gone, I'm gonna make 1 or 2 short videos just to help you guys train at home. And hope you enjoy them. Let me know because I plan to make more of these videos in the future. Today's theme is gonna be on Mai Gedi. Mai Gedi is a front kick. There are 2 variations of this, a snapping kick and a thrust kick. Today we're only focusing on the snapping kick. To follow this video, you're going to have to know what sets and reps are. Sets are going to be defined as a group of exercises, and reps are the number of repetitions that you do. For this video in particular, I'm going to be doing trisets, meaning we're going to do 3 exercises. I'll specify how many repetitions of each exercise I want you to do. In between sets, we're going to take a little break, and you can take a break of 30 seconds to a minute depending on your fitness level. So for a warm-up, we're going to do 4 exercises. Each exercise is going to last about 30 seconds, and we're going to take a 30-second break in between each group of exercises. Exercise number 1 is knee lift. So we're just going to run on the spot and lift our knees as high as we can, like this. Exercise number 2 is going to be a knee lift with a twist. So my right leg's back and I'm twisting towards the inside of my leg. Exercise number 3, we're doing leg raises. For our last exercise, we're going to do some dynamic stretching. A dynamic stretch involves moving rather than holding, which would be a static stretch. So for this one, I'm going to take my position, I'm going to push my hips forward, and then I'm going to go back and touch my toes. I'm trying to keep my back straight and my eyes forward. For our first tricep, we're going to activate our glutes. If you don't know what your glutes are, they are your buns or your booty. So we're going to use 3 exercises. The first 2 are going to be glute bridges. The last one is going to be a glute bridge, but we're going to use the kick and try to get a snap. So the first exercise is a simple glute bridge. So we're going to lie down. My back is completely flat, head on the ground, and my feet are posted like this. And I'm going to lift, and I want you guys to lift 10 times. Try to make sure you're getting a squeeze at the end of the technique. So our second routine is going to be a single leg glute bridge. So I'm in the same position, and this is important because we're going to start learning about how to position our feet. So my ankle is going to be up like this, sort of like a ballet dancer, while I lift my toes. While holding this position, I'm going to raise 8 times, and then I'm going to switch legs. For my last set, I'm going to do a single leg glute bridge with a snapping kick. So again, I'm taking that same position and I'm lifting. My knee raises, I kick and snap back, and then lower my body. Okay, and again, we're gonna try to do this 8 times on each leg. We're on to set number 2 now. So what we're gonna focus on here is stability, and we want to do squats for those. So we're going to do 3 exercises again. The first one is going to be squats with knee raises. Often I see people not lifting their knees high enough when they're beginners. So we want to emphasize lifting our knee as high as we can. On the second exercise, we're going to do the kick. And on the third exercise, we're gonna work a little bit on our conditioning by including push-ups. So for exercise number 1, we're doing those squats with knee raises. So I'm going to do a half squat. I want to make sure my back is straight and my eyes are forward. And I'm going to lift my knee up and alternate. And I want to do this for 30 seconds. For exercise number 2, I'm again lifting my knees, but this time I'm going to kick and make sure that I'm snapping back. For my last exercise, I'm going to be kicking again, but in between, every 2 kicks, I'm going to do a push-up. For our last tricep, we're going to be working on my giddy a little more practically. So we want to do this in 3 ways. The first way is going to use Zenkutsudachi, which is a front stance. It's a classic stance used in Eastern martial arts primarily. What we're going to do with it is load more weight on our front leg. So it's going to create more stability when we use our kick in a standing position. The next set is going to be using it in a fighting stance. So we're going to be a little higher, and you're going to feel what more of what it would be like to use this in a fight. And our third set is going to include footwork. So we're going to be moving in and out, simulating the way we would do it in a self-defense situation. So for set 1, I'm going to get into my stance first. So my feet are shoulder width apart. My right leg is going to move back. I'm going to have my hands up in a guard. I'm going to lift my knee, kick, snap back, and go back to my original position. I want to do this 8 times on each leg. Be sure not to raise your body, otherwise you're taking the pressure off your front leg. So push your knee to the point where you can't see your toes anymore, and then follow through with your kicks. For set number 2, I'm going to be doing the same kick, but in a higher stance. This time I want to make sure that both my knees are bent evenly, so that my weight distribution is even. For my last set, I'm going to include footwork. So my weight distribution is even again, and I'm in a shorter stance. My hands are up. I want to push off my back leg. To go forward, and to go backwards, I'm going to push off my front leg. Practice that alone a few times if you need to. While I'm doing my kick, the way this is going to work is I'm going to kick forward while pushing off my back leg. And when I move back, I'm going to push off my front leg. So it starts with a push, I kick, and then I push back. Do this set 8 times on each leg. So the point in using the footwork is because I know my opponent is not going to be there waiting for me when I kick. So I have to do something ahead of time to make sure that I'm closing that distance. At the same time, after I complete my kick, I'm often going to be countered by my opponent. So I want to be ready and move out of the way if necessary. So this is what we're practicing today, is just that movement, going in and closing the space and then regaining my space again after the kick's complete. So Isabel's helping out, and what we're going to do here is move together. Okay, I'll take this time as well just to explain one more thing, and you can see with my footwork that with my foot positioning that my foot is not going to be hitting with my toes or with the full foot, but instead I'm only making contact with the ball of my foot. If you've been following along so far, great job. We have 3 exercises that we're going to do again in a tri-set to cool down. So we want to hold each one for about 30 seconds, and we are using both legs. So for set number 1, we're going to have our legs straight and we're going to bend and touch our toes. Make sure that your back isn't arching. So we want to bend at our waist and not bend our back like this and hunch it over. Okay, so we're aiming for good posture here, and we're holding this again for 30 seconds. So from your last stretch, you can actually move straight into the next one, which is a downward dog pose. So we're going to walk over this way, place our palms on the ground, keep our heels down, keep our legs straight, and hold this for 30 seconds. For our last set, we can continue from the downward dog. So as you recall, we went down, we went into downward dog, and now we can place our knees on the ground and place our left foot forward. And what we want to do from here is just stretch out into a front split. You can do this at your own pace. So for me, I'm not the most flexible guy in the world, so I'm gonna go as far as I can go, letting my back leg push back as far as possible and my front leg push up as far as possible. I'm trying to keep for now my foot on the ground, flat on the ground, and make sure that your back leg isn't like this and instead flat, so the top of your foot is on the ground. And I'm gonna hold like this for 30 seconds. After my 30 seconds is up, I'm gonna go back to knees on the ground and switch. Okay, so you might wanna start off like that, pushing your hips forward, and as you feel more comfortable, we're going to push out and hold for 30 seconds. So remember, while you're doing static stretching, that's where we're holding our stretches at the end, that we're not pushing ourselves to the point where we feel a tremendous amount of pain. You might feel a slight pain or discomfort, and that's okay, but anything more than that isn't good. You might be pushing yourself too hard. Remember that with stretching and flexibility, we're aiming for consistency, and we don't want to cause any injury to ourselves, because that'll only take us away from our training. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would appreciate any feedback that you could give me, because we plan to make more of these videos. I also do want to mention that this video was meant for everyone in the dojo, but if you feel like it's too hard for you, then you can cut down on the repetitions or the length of time. If you feel like it's too easy, you can just increase those, and for certain exercises, and only for those of you with more experience, you can add weight to the exercises to make it more challenging. But again, I want to thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it.